Hey everyone, I'm assuming as you've clicked on this video, you kind of know what it's about.
We've been hinting that we might sell the boat for a while, we might not, we don't know what we're doing. And basically, we now know what we're doing.
We've been in touch with this person for about a month now. And yeah, they're super keen to buy Talisman. After weighing everything up, we want to break down to everyone that's watching our reason for selling.
So in this very spot, about 3 years ago, we were in the UK just planning our adventures, and 3 years later we're here in Italy, and it's just been the most amazing adventure ever, isn't it?
It's been amazingly cool. Like, way better of an experience I could have ever given it credit for. So anyone who's thinking about doing anything like this, honestly, it will test you, but it'll be one of the most exhilarating, fun, amazing things that I think anyone could possibly do. And even though I know this video is selling Talisman, it's now it's in our blood now for sure.
So before we get into the reasons for selling and what's next, etc., let's get into our favourite moments on Talisman in the last 3 years.
So one of my favourite ever moments on Talisman, and I've spoke about it quite a lot, is when we were in Biscay and a pod of fin whales came and visited. It was honestly the most exciting moment I think I've ever had. And by the way, if I sound a bit rough, it's just because I've been ill for about a month now.
It's because it's been crying the on the boat.
But it honestly was the most sensational moment for me.
Just did not expect
Didn't
it
expect
at
it.
all, at all. I was down below and I heard Bryn say, "Oh my god, there's something absolutely huge by the boat." And I came out and I thought I'd missed it, I thought it had gone, and we were just talking, we had the camera ready, and we were talking, and then you just see Bryn's face and he's like, "Oh, there it is, there it is!" And I'm like, "Oh my god." That will stay with us for our whole life, that moment, forever. So one of my favourite moments is actually towards the start of the journey, and it probably seems quite small to a lot of people, but the 35-hour passage we did from Southampton to Falmouth was absolutely awe-inspiring for me. It was just us two, 35 hours. The longest passage we've done at this point was maybe 6 hours or something.
We'd never done a night passage.
We'd never done a night passage, and this was just 35 hours, going past some absolutely amazing landmarks and sailing around the Needles and Portland Bill, and it was just so special, and all of the conditions were absolutely perfect. We were really spoiled with this trip.
We were so spoiled.
We were just thinking, God, this sailing stuff's amazing. We were just downwind, beautiful, flat seas, but quite fast as well. It was just so special. We saw our first dolphins at the end of it as well, when we got to Falmouth.
That was incredible.
It was just, we were on such a high that whole trip.
What about, that was the first night sky we'd seen away from land, because we sailed a little bit offshore there. We were probably 15 to 20 nautical miles at the furthest.
It was so many firsts.
Absolutely.
Beautiful clear sky.
So my next favourite moment is actually not just one moment, but this is something that I find has happened as we've been sailing, and it's the camaraderie. So when we sailed Biscay, we had SV Tonic and Ali and his dad on Wamba, and having those guys sailing with us, not only across Biscay, but then down the Spanish coast, the Atlantic coast of Europe, was just so cool. I just saw a blue torpedo in the water, and it was a dolphin, but with the bioluminescence it looked like a blue torpedo. And I got on the radio, I was like, Ali, you there? He was like, yep. I was like, did you see it? And he went, I've got blue things splashing next to the boat. It was unbelievable. So yeah, the camaraderie of having, other boats around that you're sharing these things with, that's another big plus.
Yeah, and just the people in general, right? The sailing community. Everyone says this all the time, but it is true.
Yeah.
Loads of times we had people just come up to our boat and they're like, "Hey guys, you okay? You just got here," that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They invite you places, if you need any help, they're all there.
And I just want to say thank you to everyone that did come and visit us, and everyone that joined us on this journey as well, because it made it as amazing as it was. Honestly, it's so cool. So what is your next one?
I think the biggest one for me and you, obviously, was the first time we saw crystal blue waters. in Ibiza, and that's because that was the vision we had. Like, since the start of getting a boat, we were like, we want to be at anchor, be able to jump in the water, see fish around the boat,
go free diving.
And that's exactly what we got the first time we anchored in Ibiza. To be honest, we didn't do that much research on the place we anchored, but it turned out to be basically the best sunset spot that you can go to in Ibiza.
Yeah, we're going to put some pictures and stuff for everyone to see what we could see.
Yeah, and we arrived in the middle of the night. It was pitch black when we got there. We had no idea what our surroundings were like whatsoever.
No.
We were just trying not to crash into other boats there.
Yep.
And it was just wow, it was just a wow factor. It was absolutely amazing. It was, the scenery was gorgeous. Yeah. Then there was fish just all around the boat, which we hadn't seen before. That
was the first time I'd ever been in water that was that clear. Be able to just jump in, felt like we'd made it, like the dream.
We were like, this is it. We are here, we've arrived.
And so lastly, one of the things that was also the most epic, and I think encompasses some of this sailboat lifestyle as well for everyone. We was hit by this storm in Gaeta, and we'd never been hit or felt anything like this before. It was pretty bad. It was around the same time you might have seen a lot of videos of boats dragging all over this area in the Mediterranean. But essentially people were being hit from between 50 and 100 knot winds within seconds. The storm that came with it was scary enough on its own, let alone being on a boat. So going through all this, our nerves were in tatters at the end of it. My confidence felt shot. I felt like we'd made really good calls in whatever the situation we found ourselves, but it still kind of hit my confidence a little bit.
And I think because obviously we had the 2 days in the marina after to recover, and that's really hard to leave. Like, it's hard
comfort.
because you're comfortable and safe in a marina, and it's, to get back out and be like, we could easily face another storm. Like, there's storms around this place, there's loads of storms in Italy, but to go out and just be like, let's just go, let's do it, rip the bandage off and go.
Yeah, we went back out to sea, and we did it's a good crossing that we did all the way down to the Messina Strait, and I think it was 50 hours in total?
Something like that,
it's about 50 hours in total at the end. But it was just such a good passage. Like, obviously when you kind of been in a storm or anything like that, going out and getting your confidence back is, I think, one of the best things to do. And we got out and we had beautiful weather, we had a beautiful sea, but also on that crossing we got to sail past a volcano, and then we got to see Sicily, and it was just a really beautiful, nice passage, loads of bioluminescence and a crystal clear sky at night, which we hadn't seen for a while. Most of them had been cloudy, so it was a really beautiful passage, and one that has stuck with me as one of my favourites for sure.
It was just, like you said, it's the highs and the lows of sailing, and that happened to us loads of times. We had a fishing net wrapped around the propeller in Biscay, and then we saw fin whales. Like, that's just what the life is like on sailboats.
Ups and downs for sure.
It's a roller coaster, but then the ups are amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, honestly, there's loads of moments we could talk about. Sailing to Rome, whirlpools in the Messina Strait.
Family coming to visit for weeks.
Yeah, taking my mum and dad out at anchor was incredible. That was one of the best moments as well.
Surfing waves when we crossed over to Sardinia at 10 and 11 knot.
When we first entered the Mediterranean and we saw sunfish.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's just so many amazing moments we've had, so many amazing people we've met, and we just couldn't do justice to mentioning everybody and all of the places we've been that we've loved. But yeah, I'm sure, well, hopefully anyway, you can see from our videos so far what the sailing life has meant for us, and hopefully you've had a little insight into what it's like. Which brings us to, why would we give up this spectacular lifestyle?
We're not giving up this lifestyle for good. We're going to be buying a house in the UK this year, and it's an investment opportunity that we just never thought we'd be able to have, and it's an opportunity we really don't want to miss out on. It means that we need to take at least a year to settle down in the UK and work.
So this means basically we knew already that for 12 months we wouldn't be sailing, and then we've just been weighing up basically, keeping a boat in the Mediterranean, the costs, the maintenance. If we're not flying out, what's going to happen to Talisman? We wouldn't want her to deteriorate. So we were weighing that up, and obviously then sailing back to the UK, but then the amount of money that would cost and the time we'd have to take out for that. And also just future plans going forward. We already plan to leave the Mediterranean this year or next year to go further afield. The more we've thought about it, we do think that we will buy another boat. Nothing wrong with Talisman, we've loved this boat. No. We absolutely love it. We're not going to go to a massive boat or a catamaran or anything like that. But we do think we're ready to try something different when we do go back into sailing.
Yeah, so the reason for that is we're potentially thinking we might go to the Caribbean and buy a small boat there so that we can just cruise the Caribbean, have loads of fun, maybe head down to Panama and Brazil. Alternatively, we might just see if there's anything in the Pacific already as well, so we can cruise around the Pacific Islands. Obviously Talisman could go to these places, but because we're essentially stuck for a year at the minute, and it could be a little bit longer than a year, it's going to cost us quite a lot of money to keep Talisman where she is anyway, or it'll cost us a lot of money to move Talisman. And we just can't really justify that amount of money to keep a boat that we're not going to be using, especially when we just need to, you know, give up a little bit of time to make this investment that we want to make.
I really think the future buyers, we know them a bit now, and I think they're just going to be so happy on this boat. And yeah, if they've half as much fun as we've had, they're going to absolutely love it.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to everyone. Honestly, everyone that's followed us along on this adventure on a boat. And we understand that a lot of you are here just for the boat. So we just want to say thank you, and we appreciate it. Like, honestly, your comments, your thoughts, everything that you guys have done watching our videos has meant a lot to us over these last 3 years.
We will still keep the Chasing Currents YouTube channel. We plan to share all the adventures we get up to on this channel, but at the moment we're converting our camper van, so that's what the majority of the content will be. But either way, it would be awesome to have you along for the adventures.
To start with, it's a refit, it's electrics, it's all the stuff that you got to see us do with Talisman, but it's on 4 wheels. And then after that, we're hoping to go on some really cool road trips and have some really cool adventures, still going coastal and visiting friends along the way.
And that'll be the best way as well for us to keep you posted on if we do get another boat again, or what our plans going forward sailing wise are. You'll be able to see everything that we do on there, and also our social media as well, of course, our Instagram, Facebook. You can see what we're up to on there, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy this new phase of adventures. It doesn't have to be goodbye unless you want it to be goodbye.
Yes.
I'm not guilt tripping you, but it's totally up to you, because we're still going to be posting content, and yeah, follow along if it's what you're interested in, because we would really, really appreciate it.
So I just want to say an amazing thank you to everyone for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you have any questions, drop them down below, as you all already know. But yeah, many thanks for watching.
Thanks guys, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
It's a little smushy.
You're such a weirdo. Goodbye, my friends.
Never gonna na.
It's not the end. So glad
you made it.
Time will
say
no.